IIC sport
Excuse me, ma'am.
event organizers, head of the Department of Civil Engineering, faculty members, dear most students of the day, a very happy, pleasant good afternoon to one and all present here for this workshop on design thinking, critical thinking and innovation design. Am I audible? Sharmila, am I audible? Yes,
ma'am.
now. Let me begin the day with the statement that engineers are called the engines of a nation. Engineers are called the engines of a nation. Now, let me ask you a question. Why are they called so? And what do they do? And how do they do to be called the engines of a nation? The first question is, why are they called so? Why are engineers called the engines of a nation? The engine is very important, isn't it, in a rail? And it's now tell me now why. Yes?
Because without engine, rails will not move.
Train cannot move forward, you mean to say. Huh?
Yes,
So similarly, without engine, the train cannot go forward. Similarly, without engineers' contribution, a nation cannot progress. A nation cannot develop economically, scientifically, and technologically. The nation's growth and development depends very much on the engineers. That is why they are called the engines of a nation. I mean, in all countries. This is the first answer to the question, why are they called so? The second question is, what do engineers do? You are all engineers, budding engineers, prospective engineers, innovative engineers of Pavi. Now tell me what exactly the engineers do. What do they do? What do engineers do? Yes, they write stories, they shoot films, they give you advertisement. What do they do? Yes, come on. Veereswaran can answer me. What do the engineers do?
we construct
Engineers
buildings.
nothing at all. Engineers go to the examination hall and they write their examination, come and attend a workshop. So this is the job of an engineer, writing exams and attending workshop. Yes, is this the job of an engineer?
No,
This is also the job of an engineer. Yes, tell me now, what do those people do? They don't do anything.
They will apply the knowledge. No, ma'am, they will apply the science.
Yes, Veereswaran cannot answer me. Veereswaran, Vijaya.
Students,
Vijaya
students,
Tamil.
unmute your mic and answer.
Balaji, Siva Balaji. Don't be worried about the examination you wrote in the morning. You forget about it. Feel happy that you forgot the examination now and you are sitting in the workshop and I'll make you happy. You can have a sense of relaxation now. Come. Yes? Vijaya Tamil, Kartika. They don't want to exert at all. Huh? Yes? Do they discover anything? Engineers, do they discover? Let me ask you at least an yes or no question. Do engineers discover anything?
They create ideas and they apply in the real time.
Yes, the application of knowledge, you mean to say.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Engineers apply their knowledge and with the help of this application of knowledge, they discover something. They only discover something or they also invent something. Yes?
Yes,
Electricity,
They
example.
also invent also, ma'am.
Yes, the second question is, engineers are called the engines of a nation because they contribute to the development of a nation. That is why they are called this way. And second question is, what do the engineers do? They apply their knowledge, they apply their scientific knowledge, science and technology, and through this application of knowledge, they discover and they also invent. So in one statement, I can say, engineers find a way or make a way. Engineers find, F-I-N-D, find a way, W-A-Y, find a way, or make, M-A-K-E, make a way. Now, what is the meaning of the word you find a way or make a way? You have to find out something. Something is existing that is not visible. So you just make an attempt to find out. For example, underground water. Water is there under the ground, under the earth, beneath the earth. And you make an attempt to discover the presence of water which is underneath the earth. Discovery. Finding means discovering. Okay. And then inventing, make a way in the sense when you cannot discover what is something already existing, you have to create something. You have to innovate something. You have to invent something. So that is the thing, make a way. When you cannot discover, you can always invent something. For example, website, search engine, invention, isn't it? All those things related to the invention. So engineers find a way or make a way for the betterment of human life. That is why they are called the engines of a nation. Now the third question is, first question is, why are they called? Why? And second question is what? The third question, which begins with a H word, how do they do? How do they do this process of finding out something or making something? How do they do? Yes? Do they use any science and technology? Yes, now? Do they apply science and technology or mathematics or whatever you call it now related to the study of engineering? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am. We relate with
They
their studies and
technology for the enablement of human life. Now, everything, whatever you invent, the whole thing depends on one thing. That is one word which begins with the letter T. What is that? That is the important word. The one word which enables everybody, not only the engineers. Even if you are a common man, if you are an ordinary person, you do this, only with the help of this you can perform anything. What is that? That which precedes everything, that which begins everything.
technology, ma'am.
You cannot. Yes? Something related. What is that? Today's topic centers around the entire concept. Yes?
Technology.
Technology. Technology is rather created or invented or whatever it is, depending on how did they discover a technology. Touch screen technology, 2D technology, 3D printing, or blockchain technology, or artificial intelligence now. What do they do? Basically, what do they do?
Thinking, ma'am.
Thinking.
Very good,
Ma'am.
Charumati is the one who just gave this answer. Charumati?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Well done, Charumati. Yes, thinking. Clear?
Sharmati, you can unmute your video also.
Yes, now,
Okay,
Charumati. Good. Thinking now. All, the progress and development, everything depends on the word thinking. If you do not think, nothing can be performed. Thoughts, words, and action, performance depends very much on thinking. Now, engineers make use of this thinking process intensively. and extensively. That is why they are called the engines of a nation. Some energy. When you think, you get energy. You know, the engine is empowered to pull the entire length of the train. Like that, a human being now makes use of the reasoning or the thought or the thinking process in order to discover something, in order to create something, in order to invent something for the enhancement of human life. Now, is it clear? So I just gave you 3 questions. Why, what, and how. These 3 questions are very, very important if you are an engineer. If you are an engineer, you should keep on asking this question. Yen, edarkaga, evvaru, eppoludhu, eppadi. There are, 5 W's and 1 H, which will help you perform all your activities desirably. Before you do, you have to ask all these questions now. Questioning mind. An engineer has a questioning mind, an investigative mind, an interrogative mind, a reasoning mind. That is why they are called the engines now. Okay. So today's topic is design thinking. Any idea about the word design thinking? Yes? Any idea? What do you mean by design? Can you design thinking? Any idea? Vijaya Tamil, any idea about this thinking? Yes? Design thinking? Kritika? Yes? Kritika? Design, the word. How do you relate these 2 words, design and thinking? That is the topic of the workshop, isn't it? Design thinking. What do you mean by design and thinking? Or design thinking? Whatever you know. Don't fear, You can, whatever you feel like sharing it with me, you can do it now. There is no right answer. There is no wrong answer. Everything is correct. Provided you look at from a good perspective now. Yes? You are able to understand me? Let me again begin the whole session with the word. Engineers are very important because they are contributors. They are problem solvers. They do a contributory role. And they do so much in terms of using science and technology, which depend on the process of thinking. Now, I have just come to the topic of the workshop, thinking. The thinking process of growth and development. Yes, now. Initiated by an engineer or undertaken by an engineer now. Yes? Any idea about design and thinking? Yes. You are all hungry. You are all hungry. Finished your afternoon meals. Sharmila, you didn't give.
Yes, ma'am. Just madam.
They have taken, they had taken a promise not to open the mouth in the workshop, I think. We have to
Not
go.
only in this session, ma'am. Everywhere, same thing. Students try to interact with madam.
Let me ask you, dear children, you are able to understand me? Yes?
ma'am.
You
Yes,
are
ma'am.
able to understand me? I'm
Yes,
not
ma'am.
an engineer. I'm not an engineer. I'm only an English faculty having the basic knowledge of engineering. Because I worked in Powai for more than 9 years, I know the nuances of engineering field and the application of the same. So I'm entitled to speak on this. Yes? Any relation between design and thinking? Anyhow.
Ma'am, incorporating our own ideas, ma'am, in designing.
Yes?
Ma'am, incorporating our own ideas and creativeness in designing, ma'am, of new
Yes.
things.
Yes. The word design, very good answer. The word design involves creativity. The word design involves innovation. The word, design involves all that is possible in order to make a person for whom you are designing happy. Isn't it? So design is something visible in terms of a picture, in terms of images. Designer. You have to think like a designer, it seems. An engineer who has this process of thinking, you have to think and act like a designer. Now, what does a designer do? He designs something. It could be a product. It could be some sort of service. No, he does it in order to satisfy the needs of the client or the customer. You do something in order, for example, if you are a builder, you want to construct a house, and before engineering or civil engineering, okay, you want to construct a house now. And before constructing the house, yes, before constructing the house, you interact with the person for whom you are constructing. Isn't it? There is one-to-one conversation. What type of house you require now? Whether 1 bedroom or 2 bedrooms, all those things now. You interact with the, yes, good evening, Dr. Selvi. Yes, you interact. Now you interact with the clients. What type of you require? What type of materials you require? What type of cement you want me to use it now? What type of steel structure? All those things you get it from the client side now. So you design something not for them but with them. You should understand designing is planning or doing something for somebody. When you are doing planning and doing something for somebody, you have to rather involve that person also in your planning or in your process. Now, you understand? For example, and if you want anything particularly, you want a cupboard. You want a cupboard to be, erected in your house now. You just go to a carpenter, tell me this, the length of it, the breadth of it, and what type of surface material, how many compartments. It should be like that now. So the engineer or the one who is going to make this product for you has a conversation with you, and in consultation with you, he designs something. So design thinking is a participatory process, a collaborative process, a teamwork based process between the one who is offering you this product or service and the one who is receiving, from the giver's side and the receiver's side now. So design thinking is an educational technique, a learning technique, an innovative technique. And this is called a human-centered technique. What do you mean by human-centered? You are doing everything for the satisfaction of the people now. So people-oriented approach. So design thinking is a people-oriented approach. And therefore, the designer has to take care of the needs of the people by interacting with them, by collaborating with them, by conversing with them, by exploring the explicit needs of the people, the implicit needs of the people, the unmet needs of the people. You hold a conversation, you interact with them. And both of you, the doing side and the receiving side, you come together, and the end product is rather desirable and appreciable. So design thinking is a technique, a methodology, an approach. And this particular approach should be nurtured among the students now, because your employability depends on this type of design thinking you get in the institute. That is why every institution has this institution innovation cell. It has to be nurtured among you, because this gives you transverse skills. Transverse, you would have learned about this mathematical term, transverse, in geometry. two lines and one single line crossing, and there are so many angles like consecutive angles, so many angles now. Madam Subhashini can throw more light on this if there is an opportunity now. Okay, transfer skills, you would have heard about soft skills. You would have heard about, hard skills, HOT, higher order thinking skills. You would have heard about, yes, now alignment skills in the sense, I should align myself with you. Interpersonal skills or intrapersonal skills, collaborative skills. And this is called transfer skills. Design thinking inculcates or leads to learning transfer skills among the students. That is why, the AICT or the institution insists upon this particular type of training. You have to train your mind. This is how you have to think now. Thinking is something which is a very, very non-linear. Non-linear is not a straightforward line. It goes back and forth. And it is also cyclical in nature. Thinking is a fluid process. So how to control this fluid form, a fluid nature of thinking process now? Okay. Let me give you a small example. I told you, you are very important in a nation and you do everything in terms of thinking. And this thinking is rather inculcated deliberately, consciously among you through centers like this, innovation centers now, incubation center, Microsoft, Pavisoft Innovation Center, all those things now. And now the next question is, thinking, two type of thinking is there. When I tell you, you should not use technology, you may call it old people, old thinking. Don't go to movies, old thinking, old people, person, isn't it? And when I say use as much technology as possible, use all, prohibited applications now. So many China, TikTok and so many applications are rather banned, but even then people are happily using it because modernity, it seems now, modern thinking, unconventional. So one is conventional, traditional. Another type is unconventional. The point is, engineers anchor on the word thinking. The whole process is anchored, centered around the pivotal element called thinking. Without thinking, nothing can be rather achieved. Now, this thinking can be cultivated in two ways. One is the traditional approach and the other is the unconventional approach. Let me give you an example. You just go to a mango forest now. You see a lot of mango trees now. When you see mangoes on the trees, what do? Traditionally, conventionally, what do? When you see a fruit is hanging, what do now? The spontaneous activity of a person when you see fruit on the tree now, what do? You take a chair, sit and look at it and enjoy. Now, what do? Yes, come on. You're able to understand the situation now? People who see mango, what do?
We'll get this.
They hit that mango with a stone-like thing.
Before taking up a stone, suppose it is reachable, within the reachable distance, now what do? Before taking up a stone and rather hitting the target before that, if it is within your limits, what do? Don't you jump? Don't you jump? The spontaneous, conventional, traditional activities, when you see something which is above you jump. Traditional one, isn't it? And supposing that fruit is beyond your reach, either you just take a stone and hit it, or supposing you see, you just want to get an access to the fruits on the tree now. Suppose you look around, you observe. An engineer should have an observing mind, just like journalists, newspaper wallahs now, news mongers now. They always have a nose for news. அப்படியே மோப்பம் பிடிச்சிருவாங்களா. All journalists know they always have a nose for news. Like that, engineers should have an observing mind. What is happening around me, in and around me? So when they just see sticks, a long stick or two small sticks now, they join even with the help of a reed, a fiber, vegetable fibers, which acts like a tying element now. They join the stick and then make it into a long stick and rather hit at the fruit. You are making a device. You are making a contrivance, a gadget like, in order to gain access to the hanging fruit. Now, this is unconventional. You are resorting to a device. First thing you do on your own, conventionally, traditionally. When that is not working properly, you understand, I should not follow this old method. Mathi yosikkanum. You know the 7-Up ad theriyuma, adu enna sollu paakalam? What is the tagline of 7-Up? இந்த அதனுடைய கார்ட்டூன் ஃபிடோ டிடோன்னு அது பேரு. இந்த கார்ட்டூன் பேரு வந்து ஃபிடோ டிடோ. 7-Up உடைய ஆட் என்ன சொல்லு பார்க்கலாம்? அந்த டேக் லைன் 7-Upங்கிறது பெப்சிகோ உடைய பிராண்ட், கோ பிராண்ட்னா அதன ஆட் என்ன? 7-Up குடிக்கிறது இல்லையா யாரும்? ஏரேட்டட் ட்ரிங்க்ஸ் எல்லாம் குடிக்க மாட்டீங்க. ஓகே, அதுல என்னது? ஃப்ரெஷ்ஷா யோசிங்க, மாத்தி யோசிங்க. அது சொல்லும்ல அந்த கார்ட்டூன். பாத்திருக்கீங்களா? நெக்ஸ்ட் டைம் அட்லீஸ்ட் டிவி இதுல கமர்ஷியல் பிரேக்ல பாருங்க. மாத்தி யோசிக்கணும், ஃப்ரெஷ்ஷா யோசிக்கணும். தட் இஸ் the whole thing, the whole workshop is on thinking. எப்படி திங்க் பண்ணணும்? How should you think? ட்ரெடிஷ்னலாவா, கன்வென்ஷனல், அரைச்சமாவே அரைக்கிறதா, இல்ல சம்திங் நியூ, சம்திங் விச் இஸ் வெரி ஃப்ரெஷ்ஷா இருக்கணும், புதுமையா இருக்கணும், அப்ளிகபிளா இருக்கணும், அஃபோர்டபிளா இருக்கணும், ரீச்சபிளா இருக்கணும். திஸ் இஸ் கால்ட் சம்திங் நியூ, ஃப்ரெஷ்ஷா இருக்கணும். அது சொல்லுவாங்களா? மாத்தி யோசிக்கிற. வாட் இஸ் தி இங்கிலீஷ் வேர்ட் ஃபார் இட்? மாத்தி யோசிங்க, சொல்லுங்க பார்க்கலாம். In all engineering workshops, this particular word is often repeated. Idu irukano, idu irukano. What is that? A word, a group of words which begins with the letter O. Yes? The next letter is U. And the next letter is T. Yes, out. Yes, out. The next the word is rather off, and the next at least the last word, tell me. What is this? At least you can visualize when I am just doing this.
Out of box, ma'am.
Yeah.
Out of box.
Sharmila, Narmadava.
Thanks, Sweta, madam. Student.
Okay. Hello, ma. Thank you, ma. The last word has been rather discovered by you, I think, isn't it? So, out of the box thinking, abdina, unconventional, divergent thinking, a fresh way of looking at things, a new way of looking at things to arrive at a conclusion which is feasible, which is possible, which is desirable, which is approachable, and which is applicable. That is the thing called design thinking. Okay, so this is how you have to do it. For example, you can just see a video, a fruit video. Sharmila, you tell me now, what is the unconventional approach to get to pluck a fruit? Now tell me. We'll show that video.
Sure.
Did you enjoy this now? Yes? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
You know, this is it is not a very big earth shattering project. Andakagasam, Abhukagasam. It is not like that. Very, very simple. A simple device. Turning, waste into wealth, because it happens with the bottle, 1 liter bottle and a stick and a piece of wire, etc. But then it needed an inquisitive mind, an imaginative mind to do that. Very simple, but then in an unconventional way, they are using this particular device to pluck the fruit now. So design thinking is a methodology with the help of which we use the process of thinking in an unconventional way to achieve our end product now. Okay. Now, design thinking, how does it happen? It has got a series of stages. It has got a series of phases involved. Now, let me show you a particular image. How does thinking happen? Yes. Second one, design thinking image. You can blow up, you can blow up. You can blow up, ma. What is the first? Yes, make it. The first one is, design thinking goes through all these stages now, or design thinking involves all these stages. To start with, empathy. There is a difference between sympathy and empathy. Sympathy is showing pity. You express your emotion. But then empathy is you put yourself in the position of somebody. Vadiya pairai kandabodellam vadine. You make yourself in the position of others, feel their inconvenience, feel their needs, feel their demands. I must do something. For example, the old man who was using this apparatus, a device to pluck the fruit. So the designer had thought about it by putting himself in the position of the old man who wanted to pluck the fruits. Now, put yourself in the position of somebody who is using empathy. That is called empathizing. You rather empathize with the user now. And second is define. Once you empathize with the client, with the customer, you inquire about their needs, you observe their needs, you scrutinize their needs, you investigate or interrogate with them and define, what is your requirement? I want this particular material to be done. This is the cost of it, and I can afford only this much, and within this budget I have to do this, I have to get a product. Okay, so you define that entire requirement of a person in terms of material, in terms of methodology, in terms of how many people are going to be involved in making the product. Everything you define, it has to be defined clearly. And second is you ideate. You get an idea, and with the help of a product can be rather produced only through idea. All creative ideas, wonderful idea. So you create some idea based upon the requirements of the customer with whom you empathized. So you ideate, you develop an idea centering around the prerequisites of the client to the end user. The next one is prototype. Now tell me, it's a very familiar word with the engineering. Tell me now, what do you mean by prototype? Prototype, rapid prototyping. What do you mean by prototype?
It's a model, ma'am. Model of our idea or project.
Very good. A model, what type of model? A model can be, it may have a functional element or it may not function. It may be
Working
like
model.
Yes? Come on, tell me now.
Model.
Working model now. Okay, prototype is a working model. A functionality stage before the final version now. So, okay, before the final version, you just develop a prototype, a working model of it, and you scrutinize the functionality of the product now. That is called a prototype now. And after that, you launch that and you evaluate. What do you mean evaluation? Assessing the performance of a product now. This is how the thinking happens now. The first stage is empathizing, identifying with the client or the customer or the end users, humanitarian identification. The next is defining the requirements, including all the parameters which are going to be implemented and executed using whatever technology that you have in your mind now. Then you develop an idea based upon, this is an idea. For example, simple one, mask, for example. When we were so much affected by COVID-19, so many people started manufacturing, mask, for example. N95 mask and common mask, use and throw mask, surgical mask, so many things now, sanitary elements now, sanitary bottles and sanitary things now, ideate now. And then working model. And you assess the performance of it. After that, you launch that product into a market. You must understand prototyping is very, very essential now. And assessment is also very essential now. You would have heard about Toyota. Which country? Now, Toyota car, which country? German or Switzerland or India? Toyota. Which nationality that automobile belongs to? Nationality? Huh? Yes, Japan. Japan's Toyota car, after manufacturing it, the entire automobile industry has a separate city called prototype city. Japan cars are very, very, very popular among the end users because of the working nature of it now. The Japanese automobile industry, they have the Toyota company, it has a separate city called prototype city, a large area, and 2,000 employees, families reside there. So whenever they manufacture a car, they rather make their employees and employee family members to use it. And they make an assessment, they make an evaluation. Only after that, they rather bring it to the market. So prototyping and assessment, very, very important before you get the final version or before you get the feedback in the market now. That is very, very important now. Okay. So this is rather the thing called now. These are the stages involved: empathize, and then define the problem, and then ideate, and then prototype, and then rather, the whole thing is non-linear. In the sense, they can run on parallel lines. If you are not satisfied with the feedback, again you come to the preparation stage. Again you redefine the problem. Again you use another technology with a different modification. And then you just make a prototype by adding a few more features now. So this is the whole design thinking or critical thinking, whatever you call it, because all these are transfer skills now. Critical thinking, creative thinking, design thinking, all they are called higher order thinking. It is a non-linear cyclical process, and you can rather start from one end to another, go to the second end, come to the third end, like that. You keep on rather changing and rechange. That is called design thinking. Clear? And then you must understand feedback is very important. Understanding the needs of the customer are very important. As civil engineers who are very much concerned about space, I told you, journalists, newspaper wallahs are very concerned about space management in the newspaper now, because every single space, matters more when they write, publish news now. Space consciousness. And if it is an audio medium, if it is a visual medium, television and radio, time oriented now, time oriented. And this is a newspaper is other space oriented. So civil engineering, like architecture, space oriented field now. So let me show you a video which gives you how the manufacturer is very much concerned about the needs of the people for whom he had specially devised this now. Yes, Arun Prabhu. He is actually Arun Prabhu Namakkal, basically an architectural, yes, now architectural engineer or architecture.
Because is now Prabhu's next target.
நிறைய பேர் மக்களுக்கு வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா சின்ன இடத்துல ஒரு வீடு கட்ட முடியும், ஒரு ஏதோ ஒரு ஆர்கிடெக்சர் ஆஃபீஸ் கட்ட முடியுங்கிற ஒரு நம்பிக்கை இல்லாமல் இருந்துச்சு. ஸோ அந்த ஒரு நம்பிக்கை கொடுக்குற ஒரு சின்ன இடத்துல ஏதோ ஒரு ஆர்கிடெக்சர் ப்ராஜெக்ட் பண்ணுவோம், ஏதோ ஒரு நிறைய பேர் மக்களுக்கு வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா சின்ன இடத்துல ஒரு வீடு கட்ட முடியும், ஒரு ஏதோ ஒரு ஆர்கிடெக்சர் ஆஃபீஸ் கட்ட முடியுங்கிற ஒரு நம்பிக்கை இல்லாமல் இருந்துச்சு. ஸோ அந்த ஒரு நம்பிக்கை கொடுக்குற ஒரு சின்ன இடத்துல ஏதோ ஒரு ஆர்கிடெக்சர் ப்ராஜெக்ட் பண்ணுவோம், ஏதோ ஒரு ஆஃபீஸோ ஏதோ ஒரு ரெசிடென்ஸ் பண்ணலாம்னு சொல்லிட்டு தான் ஆரம்பித்தோம்.
Innovation is not only the need of the hour, but also the success mantra for today's youth.
Yes, Sharmila.
Just a minute. Yes.
There should not be any technical failure when an audio or video is being played, no?
நிறைய பேர் மக்களுக்கு வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா சின்ன இடத்துல ஒரு வீடு கட்ட முடியும், ஒரு ஏதோ ஒரு ஆர்கிடெக்சர் ஆஃபீஸ் கட்ட முடியுங்கிற ஒரு நம்பிக்கை இல்லாமல் இருந்துச்சு. ஸோ அந்த ஒரு நம்பிக்கை கொடுக்குற ஒரு சின்ன இடத்துல ஏதோ ஒரு ஆர்கிடெக்சர் ப்ராஜெக்ட் பண்ணுவோம், ஏதோ ஒரு ஆஃபீஸோ ஏதோ ஒரு ரெசிடென்ஸ் பண்ணலாம்னு சொல்லிட்டு தான் ஆரம்பித்தோம்.
Innovation is not only the need of the hour, but also the success mantra for today's youth. The life of N.G. Arun Prabhu, a young architect from Tamil Nadu who built a portable house on top of an auto rickshaw, changed with a tweet from entrepreneur Anand Mahindra, which said, "Connect me to him." Within no time, Prabhu became trending on social media. A native of Namakkal near Salem in Tamil Nadu, Prabhu completed his Bachelor of Architecture from Chennai and started an architectural firm in Bangalore with 5 others. Prabhu says, "Our organization focuses on research and development in design and space planning. The work aims at raising awareness about compact space habitation. So, my Solo 0.1 is an experimental and conceptual design." Prabhu says the minimum area required for a living space is 6 into 6 feet. His goal was to make people aware that even the size of a cabin could be turned into habitable. The concept of Solo 0.1 comes from the state of slums in our country and the nomadic tribes and gypsies. They have limited basic needs. Solo 0.1 took birth out of the desire to create a habitable and travel-friendly system that requires the least amount of space. Solo 0.1 is a modified auto. The portable house with a bathtub, solar panel power, washing and driving area, a living room, workspace, a bedroom, and a 250-liter water tank on top of the auto rickshaw is as good as a 1 BHK house. It was built on a budget of 1 lakh rupees. These attachments are suitable for other vehicles as well. However, an auto rickshaw was chosen because it is less expensive compared to cars. Solo 0.2 is now Prabhu's next target. This time, he plans to have 2 bedrooms to accommodate more than 2 people. Homes like Solo 0.1 are best suited for the COVID era. Prabhu says he never expected Anand Mahindra would appreciate his project. Mahindra tweeted that Arun did this to show the relevance of small spaces. The Mahindra Group chairman also asked Prabhu if he would like to design one for the Bolero pickup. Anyway, Arun doesn't even have time to pay attention to these inquiries and hustle and bustle on social media because this talented young architect is working on Solo 0.2.
You show the other one also, marriage hall video also.
Yes, ma'am.
Let them be very happy about a particular type of marriage hall. They can think of their own marriage hall. And they can rather book in advance. Or they can construct their own marriage hall.
In 2021 UPSC results, 24 out of top 50 is from Shankar IIS Academy. Admission open for 2022.
ஒரு திருமண மண்டபத்தையே ஒரு கண்டெய்னர் லாரிக்குள் சுருட்டி எடுத்துச் செல்லும் காட்சிகள் சமூக வலைதளங்களில் வைரலாகி வருகிறது. நாட்டில் மக்கள் தொகை உயர்ந்து வருவதற்கேற்ப தேவைகளும் அதிகரித்திருக்கிறது. திருமணங்கள் எல்லாம் மிகுந்த செலவு வைக்கும் முறைகளாக மாறியிருக்கின்றன. இவற்றில் பெரும் செலவு வைக்கும் ஒன்றாக மாறியிருக்கின்றன திருமண மண்டபங்கள். திருமண மண்டபங்களுக்கு பல மாதங்களுக்கு முன்பே அட்வான்ஸ் வாடகை கொடுத்து புக் செய்ய வேண்டும். டெக்கரேஷன், பராமரிப்பு என்று ஏகப்பட்ட வேலைகள் அதில் இருக்கும். குறிப்பாக பார்க்கிங் வசதி, போக்குவரத்து பகுதிகளுடன் எந்த அளவிற்கு வசதிகள் இருக்கின்றன என்பது போன்ற விஷயங்களும் அடங்கும். வீட்டில் சிறிய விழாக்கள் இருக்கும் போது பெரிய பெரிய திருமணங்கள் நடக்கும் திருமண மண்டபங்களை பிடிப்பது அவசியமில்லாமல் தோன்றும். அதோடு தேவையான இடத்தை விட்டு தூரத்திலும் அமையும். இவை எல்லாவற்றையும் தீர்க்கும் வகையில் புதிதாக அறிமுகப்படுத்தப்பட்டிருக்கிறது மொபைல் திருமண மண்டபம். மகாராஷ்டிராவை சேர்ந்த தாரேகர் ஈவென்ட் நிறுவனம் இந்த மொபைல் ஈவென்ட் கண்டெய்னர்
Okay, enough ma, enough. Now I have just yes, come back. Sharmila. Shall we go back?
Yes, ma'am. Shall I continue the video or start?
Enough.
Enough. Okay.
Now I have just shown two videos. One was done by Arun Prabhu, isn't it? Another is a marriage portable marriage hall. Now what do you understand out of these two videos? You tell me now. Or what did you understand? You had seen. What did you understand? Yes. Which particular word comes to your mind? Which particular word comes to your mind on seeing these videos now? One word.
It is innovative, ma'am.
You tell me that. Huh?
Creativity, ma'am.
Creativity. Very good. Very
Innovative,
good.
ma'am.
Huh? Yes.
Innovative.
Innovative. Very, very innovative, creative, and then other words now. These two things are related to creativity and innovation. And what are the uses of this particular creativity? Design thinking. They designed their thinking in that way. An auto rickshaw can be converted into a mobile house now with 1 lakh rupees now, having all the facilities, constructing a similar house with 1 bedroom. And this particular project rather aims at satisfying the needs of slum dwellers or people who are globetrotters now, people who are always on the move now. And this is the thing that Arun Prabhu aimed at it now. Space, conserving the space. Now space is limited. Within this limited space, we'll have to give a sense of accommodation. This is my house. That kind of feeling, that kind of safety and security of owning a possession of your own. That is the first one. Second one is rather creativity now. How a ship container can be transformed converted into a marriage hall, accommodating 200 people with the dining and the 2 AC and all those things now. It all due to, and you tell me now whether this particular second video, whether this particular marriage hall, it is only for that purpose or it can be used for other purposes also. Can you conduct only marriages there, or can you use this particular type of portable device for other purposes also? Can you tell me?
Other purpose also, ma'am.
What are the other purposes? You tell me now. Not only for the purpose of marriage. What are the
Already
other?
we have civil engineering field. We have utilized the container for supervisor room.
Yes, now. So already you are using it as a supervisor. And then?
As
Yes.
in mobile house,
We
ma'am.
can now.
You can use this also as a mobile house, but it is very spacious. 200 people, accommodating 200 people, whereas your house needs only 2 or 3 or 4 persons only, which is rather feasible in the case of Arun Prabhu. Yes, 1.0. Yes.
Yes.
Only Rashtrapati Bhavan can be rather accommodated, I think. Yes, you can tell me now. What are the other general purposes, generic purposes, with which you can rather make use of this particular device now? Yes?
Hospitals.
Very good, very good. Mobile, good now. Mobile hospital now. Mobile hospital now. All remote areas now, unreachable areas, remote destination. When you want to reach the remote destinations and take medical, benefits to those people, you can make use of this particular thing as a hospital, mobile hospital. You can an operation theater, rehabilitation center, physiotherapy center, anything can be rather accommodated. Yes, now for the medical purpose now. And then what are the other purpose? Now, once you devise a product that has to be applied in the other field, diversified application of your product, only then it can withstand the competition of the market now. Yes? What are the other areas? Yes? Education side, for example, you tell me now. Education side now.
We can use this as a mobile library.
Mobile library, and then you can go from Pave Engineering to Pave College of Engineering, Pave Technology, and Pave rather group of institutions like that. Mobile library, okay, whatever it is. Then
Mobile teaching, ma'am.
mobile teaching, that's very good, Sharmila. You can move from. Yes, now. Another thing is, awareness camp. You conduct awareness, eye awareness camp, cancer awareness, what is that? Diabetes awareness camp, all awareness camp. When you have space within your institution now, you can make yourself this portable hall arrangement for conducting awareness camp now. And scale the installation, politicians now, whenever they conduct meetings, require all big stages now, very, very expensive, constructing so many arches and so many holders now, which lead to the death of a person also, or many persons now. You can use this particular type of, politicians, they can make use of this for conducting election manifesto, oration or whatever it is now, political purpose, political installation purpose, educational purpose, library purpose, teaching purpose, mobile bank, for example now, mobile banking, isn't it? And also military purpose also, in a barricades now, they can also make use of this particular thing, barricades now. They can use it now. So this is the advantage. When you design a product, you have to think the future and the multidisciplinary application of all the areas related to this. That is the advantage of design thinking. Okay. And then you must remember, not only product, innovation happens not only with the product now, even with the small advertisement now. Even with the small advertisement, the thinking process can give you better and good results now. Show that a particular advertisement. Yes. Engineering is product in terms of manufacturing products, not only products, offering services also. Yes. Sharmila, you show me that shoe.
Yes, madam.
Yes, this is a staircase, a staircase. Yes, leave that. Just see this now. Can you identify? Ennappa, nalla panna. Make it, just give a full screen to it now. Can you identify which company had or has manufactured this type of shoes?
Nike.
Show the full picture, Sharmila. Can you see? Or symbol logo. What is that particular company? Which company's logo?
Nike, ma'am.
Tick symbol, Nike company, ma'am.
Nike is now US based as Nike, 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 and again Nike. Now it is a Greek word which means goddess of victory. Symbol is or a tick mari irukla. It is not a tick. It is actually the wings of that goddess now. The wings of the goddess called victory. That is a name. Greek Nike is a name of the goddess victory, and the wing is depicted in the form of a tick. Nike products, apparels and shoes. Now tell me, can you say more about this particular type of shoes? What do you see? What do you see in this advertisement? Yes. What do you see?
Looks like modulation of shoe structures.
It's like a shoe, huh? Yes, come on, tell me.
They designed the poster like lungs, ma'am.
They designed the poster like lungs, you mean to say? Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you say it is lungs now? Anyhow, thanks for the person who had found out the whole meaning of this particular advertisement. And this is the advertisement for sports shoe, Jordan, Air Jordan, if I'm not mistaken, I think, given by the company Nike now. And with the tagline, they keep you all, they keep you alive. The tagline of this advertisement is they keep you alive. Now, how do you relate these two images now? One is a pair of shoes, rather held with the help of a handle like a rod like. And that gives the appearance of pair of lungs in us now. The pair of shoes attached to a handle, it is symbolic of the pair of lungs we have in every human being now. Just as lungs, through which we breathe, keep you alive. These in the sense, these shoes are meant for making yourself fit, physically fit now. Activity, physical fitness, exercise, walking or jogging or running makes you, keep you alive. An advertisement which goes beyond the commercial purpose. You make an advertisement. Every company invests so much money in advertisement now in order to reach out to people. What are they trying to say through that now? This particular company is very much, concerned about public health, I think. Beyond their commercial reach, they have indicated a kind of a statement, a kind of message. If you regularly exercise using shoes, they make you alive. So this is how innovation rather penetrates into the world of rather advertisement now. Okay, so design thinking is one way of inventing so many things, or inventing a new thing, giving a fresh look into what is already existing, or taking up a new leash of life in order to meet the unmet needs of the customers, whatever it is now. Now, next thing is, and doing right thing may be the difficult option. Doing the right thing may be the difficult option. You must do the right thing. When people say you must always do the right thing, the teachers say you must do the right thing, parents say you must do the right thing, friends say you must do the right thing. So doing the right thing may be a difficult option. It's very difficult. But then still it is a better option, as said by the Ratan Tata, the octogenarian, an industrialist, a legendary industrialist. Naveen, please don't disturb. Naveen, have you heard of Ratan Tata? Yes. Yes, Ratan Tata. Tell me some of the Ratan Tata products now. Tell me. Yes. என்னப்பா டாடா சால்ட் இல்லையா? டாடா சால்ட் we every day we use.
Tata Steel, ma'am.
Tata Steel இருக்கு. அப்புறம் which are the other companies associated with the Tata?
Titan. Oh, Titan. Tata Click.
HOD மட்டும்தான் அலைவா இருக்கிறாங்க போல இருக்கு. வேரிங் நைட் போட்டுருக்காங்களா என்னமோ மேக்கர், அதனால அலைவா இருக்காங்க. மத்தெல்லாம் ஆஃப்லைன்ல இருக்காங்க போல இருக்கு. Other participants are on the offline mode and only the HOD and the organizers are on the online. Yes. Tata தெரியுமா டேப்லெட் 1 mg for senior citizens now. Whatever it is. டாட்டானோட நேம்க்கு ஒரு ஞாபகத்துக்கு வரணும்ல. What is that? The very word Tata. Very humble man, simple man. Tata. Nano car ba. Nano car which was introduced in the year 2008. Mechanical engineers, automobile engineers, mechatronics engineer. The word Tata should remind you of the nano car. Small. Small is always beautiful, you know. That was his brainchild. Tata, you know, he saw, he saw 2-3 members sitting on a scooter and making use of the scooter. He felt very much for it. I must manufacture, I must rather do something for the satisfaction of these people who do have the feeling of traveling in a four-wheeler. So he had rather introduced a very small car. It was called a people's car, Makkaludaya car, for 1 lakh rupee in 2008. And it was performing well up to 2015. And after that, it became a failure. Tata and the nano car became a failure because of the poor advertisement. You know that. You have to be always creative, always inventive. If your product fails in the market, you have to make a SWOT analysis. I have to get feedback from the people. Why did my product, fail in the market? Tata people failed to do it. And the advertisement they got, it was people's car, okay, cheap car. ரொம்ப மலிவான விலையில் கிடைக்கக்கூடியது. People don't relish the word cheap because they don't want to be identified as poor people. We may be poor, but then we don't want to be identified as poor people. That is the reason why people don't like the word poor man's car. Erkard is called poor man's Ooty. Therima Ooty Erkard is a substitute. It is called a poor man's Ooty. So it is poor man's car. People do not like to buy that. அப்புறம் டெக்னிக்கல் ஃபெயிலியர் இருந்தது, டயர் இருந்தது, இனோவேஷன் இல்ல, டெக்னாலஜி அப்டேஷன் இல்ல. So they stopped manufacturing the car in the year 2015, though it commenced in the year 2008 now. But I tell you, Ratan Tata udaya desire is getting fulfilled because he is going to reintroduce the model. Nano car e-vehicle பண்ண போறாரு, electricity vehicle பண்ண போறாரு. Nano car run by fuel, petrol. இப்ப என்ன பண்ண போறாரு? Electricity e-vehicle. What do you mean by e-vehicle? Tell me now. Any idea about e-vehicle? Who is a giant in manufacturing this e-vehicle? சொல்லுங்க. பெரிய ஆளுப்பா, சவுத் ஆப்பிரிக்கன் ஆண்டர்பிரனர், ஒரு யங் மேன், பில்லியனர். SUV, sports utility vehicle. யாரு? A word which begins with a T. Tesla. Tesla கார்னு கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்களா?
Someone answered, ma'am.
CEO, CEO, Twitter, and he is a one man. He's always getting, talked about on the media, social media, ella media, like political media. Yes, now. Apo electricity vehicle, it is going to be reframed or redefined, or you're going to manufacture it in a different form. Instead of fuel, petrol as fuel, they are going to use it as electricity. People are so happy about it, and Ratan Tata is more happy about it now. So design thinking gives you an opportunity for reorienting your ideas, making new ideas based upon the feedback you got with regard to the earlier version, and you have to do improvisation. And this is going to happen in the case of nano car, which is going to ICE. What is this ICE to EV? Cholunga. ICE is a kind of shift from ICE technology to SV technology, EV technology. Adenna ICU enna combustion engine irukku anga carkulla. Internal என்னப்பா internal combustion engine இல்லையா? So we are rather automobile industry la innovationists or innovative designers from internal combustion engine la irundhu they are going shifting to electricity vehicle, electricity drawn vehicle. Okay, and this is the innovation that you are going to see in the radical rapid prototyping, some kind of a change, new change now. Adukapram, another thing is, it need not be a big invention. Invention need not be very big. It can also be medium-sized invention or small size or workable invention which has some kind of practical everyday application. Now tell me, have you heard of this word liquid glide, liquefy glide? Liquiglide, LIQUIGLID, liquiglide, LIQUIGLID. அது ஒரு particular wet technology or surface chemistry related technology. The liquefy glideங்கிறது ஒரு மெட்டீரியல். liquiglide அப்படின்னா ஒரு மெட்டீரியல், ஒரு கோட்டிங் மெட்டீரியல், வெட் கோட்டிங் மெட்டீரியல். அந்த மெட்டீரியல் எப்படின்னா, நமக்கு டூத் பேஸ்ட் இருக்கு, ஃபேஸ் கிரீம் இருக்கு, லோஷன் இருக்குது, பாட்டில் கண்டெய்னர்ஸ்ல நிறைய. When you want to empty the entire content of what you have in a container, ரொம்ப எஃபர்ட்லெஸ்ஸா ஸ்மூத்தா லாஸ்ட் டிராப் வரைக்கும் பண்ணணும்னா, this particular wet material has to be coated inside the container. அவங்க கண்டுபிடிச்சிருக்காங்க. Professor Kripa Varanasi, from Varanasi, Dr. Kripa Varanasi, who had done it at BTech படிச்சிருக்காரு. Then he went to Massachusetts, Cambridge la. அதுக்கப்புறம் along with this foreign student David Smith நினைக்கிறேன், he had introduced this concept liquid glide. அது ஒரு மெட்டீரியல். Okay, the liquid glide coating இருக்கிறதுனால பாட்டில்ஸ், கண்டெய்னர்ஸ், இந்த டியூப்ஸ், அதெல்லாம் the liquid glides, அப்படியே glide பண்ணி அப்படியே வலிக்கிட்டு எஃபர்ட்லெஸ்ஸா சீம்லெஸ்ஸா வந்துருதான். That is called wet technology. எப்படி how people are rather ஒரு எவ்ரிடே ஆக்டிவிட்டிக்கு பெரிய பெரிய இது கண்டுபிடிப்பு வேண்டாம், ஈவன் ஃபார் ஸ்மால் ப்ராக்டிக்கல் அப்ளிகேஷன் இல்லையா? இப்ப ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஹோம் எலிவேட்டர்ஸ் இருக்கு. லிஃப்ட் need not be in a very commercial ஏரியால மட்டும் இல்ல, வீட்லயே if you have 2 stories or 3 stories, all rich people and they can't go, home elevators இருக்கு. And elevators for senior citizens இருக்கு. அப்படியே அந்த ஸ்டேர் கேஸ்ல ஒரு ஹைட்ராலிக் ஒரு நியூமேட்டிக் ஒரு டெக்னாலஜி நினைக்கிறேன். அந்த சிஸ்டத்துல ஒரு chair is attached to the rails of an escalator and it goes up and comes down. All the needs of the people are taken care of by the inventive brain of the engineers. Now you understand now? How many minutes more, ma? Yes, Sharmila? Yes,
10 more minutes.
Yes, 10 more minutes.
10 minutes.
So 10 minutes, yes. Now so I have told you about this What is that gel called? Tell me, repeat. At
Liquid
least
light.
Liquid glide, ma'am. Glide, ma'am. Liquid glide.
spelling enna? L-I?
Q
QUIGLIDE.
L-I-L-I-E-D. Coating material. The coating material வெட்டா இருக்கும். It's all related to நிறைய சொல்ற thermodynamics surface chemistry all those people are making use of it. நீங்க switch on பண்ணினீங்கன்னா when you rather go to the Google, you can see a lot of information related to the type of inventions, the thing which are done by these two people, learner professors. So many awards எல்லாம் இருக்கு. நம்மளுதான் பரவாயில்ல. இப்ப அது மட்டும் இல்ல, இந்த நம்மெல்லாம் இந்த ஐடி பீப்புள் do have a curse. ஒரு curse இருக்கு அவங்களுக்கு with related to health சொல்லுவாங்களா? People who are IT field, computer field, what is rather என்ன problem இருக்கு? What is a common problem with regard to IT? அவங்கள வீட்டுக்கு அனுப்பிச்சிடுறாங்க. What type of job? Mobile job or immobile job? People who are glued to the computer. அப்படியே பார்த்துக்கிட்டே இருக்காங்கல்ல. Immobile job? Yes?
Most of them are having the back pain problem.
Back health issue இருக்குமா? IT people are immobile, they are glued to the electronic devices and they do not have time to do exercise and they suffer from so many health issues. நிறைய fertility problem இருக்கு, back problem, back pain இருக்குது, நிறைய cervical spondylitis, நிறைய top of. அதனால இப்ப என்ன கண்டுபிடிச்சிருக்காங்கன்னா, again an engineer, an IT engineer, electronics எல்லாம் கூடி கலந்து பேசி they have devised a thing called office treadmill desk. Treadmill தெரியும்லமா? Some kind of a thing where you just rather do walking exercise. ஒவ்வொரு டெஸ்க்லயும் என்ன பண்ணிட்டாங்களா, they have attached என்ன பண்ணாங்க, treadmill. So in so many places, multinational companies, each person is given a treadmill, TREAD, treadmill desk. ஒரு டெஸ்க்டாப் இருக்கு and you have a treadmill, so you can do this exercise and you can do your office work. Innovation, everyday affairs என்ன, inconveniences என்ன, what are the demand, அதனால அப்படி சொன்ன knows for news. என்னுடைய society, what are the things that I need, என்னுடைய streetல, என்னுடைய localityல, think local, think global and act local. Local needs and sanitation and sanitary pipes irukka, what type of thing I can do that now. நிறைய steel pipes இருக்கு, அதெல்லாமே ரஸ்டா இருக்குது and you have to introduce PVC. So all this has to be observed, அதை empathize பண்ணி, and then the next stage is define பண்ணி, ideate பண்ணி, and then prototype பண்ணி, then experiment பண்ணி, evaluation, and then you have to do this kind of thinking has to be thinking பண்ணிக்கிட்டே இருக்கணும். So thinking is very essential. I have manufactured a product. You can't be very complacent and comfortable with what you have done, and you have to go on improvising it now. சித்திரமும் கைப்பழக்கம், செந்தமிழும் நாப்பழக்கம். Otherwise you will get rusted. It was again Ratan Tata. I'm very fond of Ratan Tata, very simple man, always advises people, especially youngsters. Ratan Tata kuda ஒரு youngster இருக்கிறார், உங்க மாதிரி மெக்கானிக்கல் engineer படிச்சுட்டு, and then he got done MBA at Harvard University, and he is rather the CEO, ஒரு mentor மாதிரி, ஒரு friend மாதிரி. Have you heard of this man? Shantanu Naidu, கேள்விப்பட்டீங்களா? ஒரு young man with a lot of curly hair. என்னையோ நீங்க பாருங்க, அவர் ஒரு 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 ஸ்டார்ட் அப் வச்சிருக்கிறார். ஒரு ஸ்டார்ட் அப் உங்களுக்கு இருக்குல்ல, your innovation cell can give you more ideas about startup, how to rather start a startup now. Okay, and the startup ஒரு கம்பெனி ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கிறாரு, and that company is called Good Fellows. எப்படி சொல்லிருக்காங்க? That is called Good Fellows. ஒரு 30 graduates இருக்காங்க, and அவங்க என்ன பண்றாங்க, they get connected with old people. and who want them to be engaged. Old people க்கு போறது, story சொல்றது, அவங்களுக்கு உள்ள needs எல்லாம் பண்றது. If they want to go to personal needs, going to a grocery shop, going to an electricity department and pay the Aadhaar connection, and whatever physical needs which are rather needed by those people, this connection, good fellows, a circle of all people, young people connected through, yes, Navit, old people, intergenerational companionship. Old people ku or company வேணும். And people at home do not have time enough to engage these old people. Grandma, grandfather எல்லாம் dump பண்ணி போட்டுறாங்க. Another send them to the old age home now. அதுக்காக Ratan Tata himself is a bachelor. He had understood the difficulty of being alone. So companionship வேணும். ஒரு father, grandfather and grandson, grandfather and granddaughter ஒரு relationship வேணுங்கிறதுனால this particular startup service oriented இருந்துச்சு. So engineering is product oriented, process oriented. It is also service oriented, like this Goodfellow, companionship startup organized by Shantanu Naidu. Adula major funding yarena Ratan Tata. This is a kind of a thing now. Doing the right thing may be the difficult option, but still it is the better option, as said by, yes, now Ratan Tata. Okay, and again he said to the people now, nothing can destroy iron. Nobody can destroy the material, hard material iron, but its own rust. Its own rust destroys the efficiency of that particular material. Like that, if you do not use your potential, if you do not use what you are capable of, believe in yourself now. Believe, think for the benefit of you, for the benefit of your family, for the benefit of a society, for the benefit of the institution, for the benefit of the nation which has given you an identity now. You will become rusted now. You will become a waste now. You understand? That is very, very, very important now. So design is particularly design. Yes, now is there any video left, Amma? Any video left?
Yes, madam, that staircase video. Staircase video and the in map video.
Enna video?
Staircase.
Staircase இருக்கட்டும், அது affordable. Staircase they don't have a separate place. It is rather it is with the inbuilt inbuilt kuda illa. It is rather attached to the compound wall. It attached to one side of the wall now. அது ஒரு latch open பண்ணிக்கலாம், collapsible. Whenever you need it, you can make use of a staircase, and when you don't require it, you can close it at the time. Ipo design or design thinking last enna solrena, design is about this is the take home message, amma. Design thinking is a collaborative process, humanitarian process, or a human-centered process, interdisciplinary process, multi-task oriented process in order to satisfy the demand of the end users. Okay. அப்போ அதனுடைய outcome எப்படி இருக்கு? Design thinking is about making things good. Whatever you do, you have to make it good. Number one, making things, அது ப்ராடக்டா இருக்கலாம், சர்வீஸா இருக்கலாம். ஒரு சின்ன பையன் 11th standard boy வைபவ் குமார்னு பேரு, he had rather ஒரு அப்ளிகேஷன் பண்ணிருக்கா. கான்ட்ராக்டர் அந்த லேபரர்ஸும் கான்ட்ராக்டர்ஸையும் லிங்க் பண்ணி அவங்க செலக்ட் பண்ணி they can send them to the destination. There is one girl, Vinisha from Tiruvannamala. She had rather found out solar paneled iron cart. Every day when she returns from school, she had seen an iron man, street man, using an iron box, using charcoal, polluting the environment. She thought, why not I use solar paneled iron box for this man, Vinisha from Tiruvannamala. She was the one who got a prize also in the Earth Summit now. Okay, so making things good, number one. Make adukapra better. First, your product must be good, usable, marketable, beneficiable, economically viable, environmentally safe, etc. Second one, better. And the third one is right things. And the final one is fantastic, a fantastic product. So design thinking is making a product, making things என்ன சொன்ன good. Next word
Usable,
better,
market,
right, and
better.
fantastic. Explanation I gave. Design thinking is about making things good, better, right, and fantastic for the people who use and encounter them. This is the conclusion of design thinking is about making things good, better,
Better,
right, and
right.
fantastic for the people who use and encounter them. Where there is innovation, where there is rather inquisitiveness, where there is a desire, where there is passion, there is always a room for growth and development. The last video, ரொம்ப interesting video, a geography teacher who wanted to teach the அகண்ட பாரதம். பாரதம் அப்படின்னா எத்தனை ஸ்டேட்ஸ் இருக்கு, ஹவு டு யூ ஃபீல் அபவுட் இட், ஹவு டு யூ ஃபீல் வெரி ஹாப்பி அண்ட் ஒரு நேஷனல் ப்ரைடோட இருக்கிறதுக்காக he makes use of an inventive method of teaching geography to students now. It's in Hindi, but you will love it now.
போட்டுட மாட்டேனா?
ये पर्वत बोलिए तो अखंड भारत, अखंड भारत। ये पर्वत बोलिए तो हिमालय। कौन सा पर्वत है? हिमालय। मध्य प्रदेश में विंध्याचल। यूपी की दो प्रमुख नदियां, गंगा और यमुना। गंगा और ये भारत बोलिए तो द्रविड़ भारत, द्रविड़ भारत। ये राज्य बोलिए तो महाराष्ट्र। ये राज्य गुजरात। ये पाकिस्तान का ये राज्य कौन सा होगा? सिंध। पाकिस्तान का राज्य सिंध, सिंध हो गया। ये उड़ीसा हो गया। उड़ीसा का पुराना नाम उत्कल, उत्कल है। कलिंग था, कलिंग के बाद क्या हो गया? उत्कल हो गया। कलिंग के बाद क्या हो गया? उत्कल, उत्कल हो गया। ये कौन सा जगह है? बंगाल। पहले बंगाल में पूरा था, ये पहले पूरा का पूरा क्या था? बंगाल। बंगाल से ही आसाम टूटा, झारखंड टूटा, बिहार टूटा। समझ गए कि नहीं? सब उसी से पूरा का पूरा क्या था? बंगाल। ये पूरा का पूरा एरिया पहले पंजाब कहलाता था। पूरा का पूरा एरिया पंजाब कहलाता था। किसी को कोई दिक्कत है? ये एरिया क्या हो गया? कलिंग। ये महाराष्ट्र का पूरा एरिया। नीचे वाला द्रविड़ भारत। भारत का राष्ट्रीय गीत देखें, उसमें अगर ध्यान से देखेंगे तो भारत का नक्शा है। भारत का राष्ट्रीय गीत न होकर भारत का नक्शा है। ध्यान से पढ़िए। पंजाब, सिंध, गुजरात, मराठा, द्राविड़, उत्कल, बंगा, विंध्य, हिमाचल, यमुना, गंगा। खत्म भारत।
Ma'am, you are muted. Madam, Kasturibai madam. Kindly unmute your mic, madam.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And the last video is about when you and the Janagana Mana song la. We keep on singing without understanding how many states are there. So this geography teacher took the smart board technology, using all that, using his design thinking to teach the states very many states, solidarity of a nation. How many regions are there, states are there, in order to you know, this is how design thinking is. It makes you a performance more efficient, more appreciable, more beneficial to the end users. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.
Yes.
Actually, today principal sir is having a session with the chairman sir, madam. That's why he couldn't able to join with us. But almost many faculties have joined. Dean madam, Subhashini madam, Shanti madam. Everyone had listened our workshop. But before vote of thanks, I would like to thank on behalf of Department of Civil Engineering and Institution Innovation Council, PEC, IIC, for Dr. Kasturibai madam for today's critical design thinking, critical thinking and innovation design workshop. So without any hesitation, I called her, Madam, we are having a session on 19th. Will you please come and give a workshop? She suddenly accepted our invitation. And today she gave a lot of information. I hope all my students have taken many of the key points, like what is design thinking, what are all the stages of design thinking, and you have insisted many examples also, especially that prototype and how to modify the uh, uh, containers into many ways, like that what we have designed, and the same design which can be utilized for many other purpose also. So these are the things students will be enjoyed. And as a faculty and as a head of the department, I already attended your workshops on August, madam, through offline. So this is my second time, and I was very delighted for it. Thank you so much, madam. Mohanapriya madam also is there. Madam, kindly unmute your mic. Mohanapriya ma'am.
Ma'am, is it audible now?
Yes, madam.
Ma'am, how are you, ma'am? Fine, ma'am.
Very fine.
Ma'am, nice to meet you, and it was an excellent session. I couldn't join little earlier, ma'am. I had some problem joining in the link. By 2:30 I joined, and till now I was continuously listening to all your the two, three videos which you played was really inspirational one, ma'am, regarding the innovation and the critical thinking. Thank you so much for your presentation, ma'am. And moreover, today afternoon session, most of the students have got exams now. They are in the model end semester examinations. Despite that, the students have joined and they have listened to us. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much.
Kartika. Sarmati.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, your teaching lecture is uncomparable. You put in many examples. We know how a teacher should connect all the things from your seminar. We learned that how we are going to teach to the students how to communicate the title with all the resources available. That is it is known by the students. So they are connecting all the things. So it is very useful for me, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Selvi.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. That's all. So the meeting end.
Charumadi, you can start.
Yes, ma'am.
No. Official vote of thanks.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I deem it a great honor and privilege for me to thank our guest to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. First and foremost, I thank our special guest, Dr. R. Kasturibai, MA, B.Ed, MPhil, PhD, Emeritus Professor, Shri Sarada College for Women, Salem, who despite her busy schedule found time to grace this occasion and sharing her knowledge on the topic of design thinking, critical thinking and innovation design. I express my heartfelt thanks on behalf of everyone. Thank you, ma'am. I take immense pleasure in extending my sincere thanks to Dr. M. Prem Kumar sir, President of Institution Innovation Council, who had highlighted the direction for taking Institution Innovation Council to greater heights. Thank you, sir. I extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. K. Selvi, ma'am, Dean of Academics, for joining this session. Thank you, ma'am. I also extend my heartful thanks to Dr. K. Sundaramurthy, sir, Vice President of Institution Innovation Council. Thank you, sir. We are grateful to our respected head of the department, Professor K. Sharmila Devi, ma'am, who arranged this workshop for the welfare of students. Thank you, ma'am. My heartfelt thanks to Dr. R. Mohanapriya, ma'am, convener of Institution Innovation Council, for her continuous support. Thank you, ma'am. My wonderful thanks to Mr. A. Jaipal, sir, Mrs. B. Kartika, ma'am, Institution Innovation Council event organizers, for organizing this great workshop. Thank you, sir and ma'am. I also extend my gratitude to all Department Institution Innovation Council coordinators, all department students, and every invitees present here for attending this workshop and making it as a successful one. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you,
Sharmila?
ma'am. Thank you so much, madam. Yes, ma'am.
Sharmila?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It is audible.
Coins to the audience now. You can show those coins, 1 lakh rupees,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
coins,
Yes, ma'am.
so that they can
Just a
have an
minute.
idea. Please, students, you please see this now. There are new things in the world of currency also, related to digital currency, cryptocurrency. You just currency கொஞ்சம் நல்லா ப்ளோ பண்ணு 200 rupees 200 rupeesக்கு ஒரு காயின் then 5 rupee notebook 5 rupees new currency paper then என்னாச்சு அந்த 1 lakh rupeeயாவது காட்டுங்க 1 லட்சத்துக்கு they have rather introduced a coin 1 லட்சம் ரூபாய் காயின் இருக்கு இங்க பாரு எவ்வளவு ரூபாய் காயினா 1 லட்சம் ஆர்பிஐ ஸ்டேட் பேங்க் ஒரு பைலட் ப்ராஜெக்டா இந்த மாதிரி கரன்சியும் காயின்ஸ் வெளியிட்டிருக்காங்க 1 lakh rupees அதெல்லாம் நீங்க ஒர்க் பண்ணுங்க யூ ஜஸ்ட் ராதர் திங்க் வை 1 lakh rupee காயின் இருக்கு வை ஹாவ் they introduced 1 lakh அப்பா வர வேல்யூ வந்து 1 lakh பர்டிகுலர் இப்போதான் லேட்டஸ்டா விட்டுருக்காங்க ஒரு பைலட் ப்ராஜெக்டா இங்க பாரு எவ்வளவு 350 rupeesக்கு ஒரு கரன்சி அப்புறம் 200க்கு ஒரு கரன்சி தென் ரியல் இது உண்மையிலேயே இஸ் நாட் அ திங் ஃபேக் இல்ல டிஜிட்டல் கரன்சி இல்ல இஸ் ரியல் கரன்சி people have rather டிரான்சாக்ஷனுக்காக இதெல்லாமே நியூ கரன்சிஸ் 150 rupees ko 75 rupees ko because it's 75th independence day year commemorative coin 75 ku 100 rupees coin adukapram 1000 rupees coin இந்த மாதிரி so many coins are introduced நீங்க work பண்ணுங்க why the government has introduced so many coins and keep on changing RBI சொல்றது கவனமா இருங்க எச்சரிக்கையா இருங்கன்ற மாதிரி so much of thing is happening in the world of currency அப்படிங்கறதெல்லாம் நீங்க you just work பண்ணுங்க is a kind of a project now okay thank you so much
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.